I'm ready.
Welcome to Thrive Radio. I'm your host, Amy Montgomery, entrepreneur and digital marketing agency owner. Today, my guest is Beth Bender. She's the president and creative director of Beth Bender Beauty and a true pioneer in the beauty industry. In 2003, she revolutionized eye makeup by creating the world's first eyeliner and eye makeup stencils. They are tools designed to help anyone, no matter their skill level, and achieve professional looks with ease. With over 20 patents for her designs, Beth has not only changed how people approach makeup, but has also built a legacy of innovation and accessibility. Her products have been featured in top magazines and used by celebrities, and she continues to push boundaries through SkinLure and her newest venture, Sainte Labs. Beth's story is about creativity, resilience, and making beauty effortless for everyone. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Definitely. I'm excited for our conversation because, so many people try to break into the space that you're in and you have been in it your whole life.
Long time. Very long time. I know it's crazy. But
So,
it's good. I love it. I mean, I don't think I could be in any other industry. It's just what I love.
yeah, it's that passion.
Yeah.
So,
So
let's start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about how you started, what gave you the courage to step into entrepreneurship and in launching the Beth Bender Beauty 13 years ago.
I was working with Bobby Brown, but I mean, what gave me the courage really was a few things. 9/11, knowing that things could change instantly and not having any work because everybody was pulling out of the city, being able to provide for my son and knowing that he was sorted. And then, the courage was really my family and my friends and my son. When I came up with this idea, when I finally had this idea, of course, I presented it to them first and they were like, this is great. Like we're behind you. And so that financially they helped, they put in, they invested in the business. So, which gave me the confidence to move forward and kind of that was my incentive for making this happen. So it was a little bit of everything, but I didn't think about it not working out. For me, it was this was going to happen.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, my next question was going to be around the fact that you revolutionized makeup tools and if you had any limiting beliefs related to that, but it sounds like you created something in the industry and were just confident. Is that because you created it before you even launched it?
Well, yeah, I did because what happened was, this is this true story. I was sitting in my living room one night on a Saturday night, and I was just thinking, this is before I had the idea, but I was actually just thinking about like I knew that women struggle with eyeliner because every time I would do a Bobby Brown event and you would do the face chart and then you get to the eyes, they would say, "Oh, I'm going to pass on that. I could never replicate what you did." But this was over and over and over and over again. So that kind of planted the seed. And then one night I was sitting on my sofa. I went into the bathroom and grabbed an eyebrow stencil. I flipped it over, and that was really my barometer. I was like, okay, if this works, then we have something. So I flipped it over so that the wing was pointing this way, filled it in with some eyeshadow. And when I pulled the stencil away, I had a perfect point. And so that was kind of opened up the door to all of the possibilities and to knowing that this was something I could do, I could achieve. And that was really it. So I didn't have any limits because it had never been done before, but I just knew that I needed to find the right team and someone that believed in this and saw the vision. And luckily, I did. I found a company in New Jersey that did everything. They met me. There was an instant connection, and they took it on. They took it on pro bono, mind you,
Wow.
from the beginning to the end to the launch. Yeah, so it's pretty wild.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And that's no small feat. I meet
yeah,
people every single day that are, creating new products and, there's no market for them. They
no,
have to create a market.
yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
crazy. And
yeah.
back then, we didn't really have, I mean, I think Facebook was still around, but Instagram and TikTok, none of that was available. So it was either by word of mouth or, just having it in a retail presence, having the online site, doing events. That was really the only way to expose the product. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes. Don't get me wrong. There were a lot of mistakes that happened along the way. But for me, I don't have any regrets because that's why I am where I am today and who I am because
Mhm.
of that. Things that I would never do again, just being careful of people who seem trusting and then turn out to be not that at all. So
Yeah.
it's a lot,
Yeah.
but it's good. still, I don't have any regrets. So here we are.
And you had mentioned when we met previously that your brand really exploded overseas.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, we had some random person post something on Facebook on a Sunday. I'll never forget this. It was the craziest thing. And I think my son was the one that brought it to my attention because he's my business partner for Beth Bender Beauty. And it was just some guy posted something, and it wasn't even like he posted beauty things, but he posted the video of our eyeliner stencils, and the sales just was insanity. It was crazy. And then people from like Qatar and Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, they just started buying hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these stencils. I couldn't keep up. I had like so many people helping me, and we could not keep up with the orders. So that happened. And then, of course, it died down. And then Huda Beauty posted something. The influencers back in the day before Instagram took over and changed the algorithm and kind of forced people into advertising, an influencer like Huda, it was like winning at Vegas. It's like she posted our stencils, and it was just, it was, you would, I used to, I mean, I still do use Google Analytics, but you could see in real time, checkout processing, sale, and just like the multiplying and in the hundreds. And it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's
So
it's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah, it was incredible.
So now you are focused on, and am I saying this correctly, Sainte Labs?
Correct.
And
Yes.
so, what are you currently working on, and what's your future vision around that brand?
Well, Sainte Labs, my business partner Leah, who's here with me, this actually started, and she's a very successful makeup artist here in Hollywood. It was kind of the same thing that led me to start Beth Bender Beauty was, she's a working makeup artist, but I don't know whether you know, but the industry here has changed a lot, and they're pulling work out. What's that show? God, what is it called? Oh my God, the one that they're shooting in Ireland.
I'm not sure.
Rainmaker. They shoot that in Ireland. It's supposed to be set in like North Carolina or somewhere. So that's what's happening. So a lot of people are losing work. So for her, it kind of started out as like, let's replicate this lip gloss. So we were working on that, and once a week she'd show up, and we'd have fun, and we'd catch up, and we'd work on this lip gloss. And then at some point, it kind of transitioned into, okay, are we doing this, and it became like a thing. So I don't we went, we did the whole thing of, picking a name, buying the URL, getting the domain. And one of the reasons why I like St. Labs, well, Labs, because I do all of the testing, the formulating. I've become very experienced in formulating. So the Labs, good products, quality ingredients. And then the Saint, I did a little bit of Googling, and apparently, and I don't know if it's right, but according to Google in one article, it said that if you add an E to the end of saint, it's a female saint. And I thought, well, we're females, and, I'm not a saint, but I just like the sound of it. I like the name, and it sounds not clinical, but it just sounds like something that I think people would like, mature people, not the millennium, not so much the millennials and not the younger kids, but just women in their like late 30s, 40s, 50s and up who would take. I wanted to be taken seriously with this brand. We both did. And so that's how it kind of came to be. And now it's to the point where we're working with, I mean, some of the best actives out there, botanicals, extracts. I have a whole arsenal of people that we're working with, and just formulating products that are good and do what they say. Our hero product is this neck cream, which is unbelievable, and it kind of just happened by. I mean, I don't want to say accident, but we made this neck cream. We found one on Amazon that we were like, okay, people want this. They're selling 10,000 of these a month, so obviously there's a need for this. So I kind of took that, and then I just kind of said, let's combine a few of these and see what we come up with, and then we'll add our own actives. My Leah's been using it for 2 months, and you can't even believe the difference from like 8 weeks ago, like what her neck looked like. People are like blown away. They're blown away by the results. So that's kind of become our hero product. So I think we're going to launch with that, and maybe just do like a softer launch for the other ones. But I mean, it makes me feel good to know that we created this and it's actually doing what it says. So I
Yeah.
just want, good products that actually are good for your skin, that where you can see results, that each active on its own has a proven track record, so that when you combine them with other actives and botanicals that also have a proven track record, I just it's hard to fail. I mean, because they all there's definite documentation and trials where you can actually see what these are doing. But again, that comes with a price. They're expensive, so then you have to charge more. But again, if you're paying $24 for a cream that's claiming to do all these things, it's impossible. It's
Yeah.
impossible because they're not. You can't sell a product for $24 and then expect it to do all these things because you're not spending enough money on the ingredients.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't care who you are, it's not ever going to happen. It's a big lie.
It's,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it is huge. I think there was one that went viral on TikTok that I used and for my neck and it didn't do a thing.
Yeah.
And then there's actually a company that's closed now. They're famous in Switzerland and
Mhm.
in Asia called Even Swiss. And
Hmm.
they had like some sort of invention where they were able to increase collagen and elasticity by 90% in 7 days.
Wow.
I got some of that
Yeah.
because one of the clients I work with, they still have some in stock. And 7 days, and my neck was no longer saggy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. But did it
So,
stay? I mean, you're gorgeous anyway, so
oh, thank
are you
you.
still, of course, are you still using it, Amy?
I am like I have a couple of different serums, a moisturizer, and they even have like a lip thing. But yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, obviously it won't last, so I'll need
Mhm.
to because they went out of business. I think what they did, what most businesses do, where everything is moved online and they don't know what to post,
Right. Yeah.
right? To really like you have to post the transformation
Right.
is the
Exactly.
key, right? And they would always like just images of the product.
Well, that's just, yeah. I mean, nobody's going to buy it for that. I mean, there's a lot of vain people out there. They want to see the results. That's what gets
Yeah.
them excited.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I mean, that's what's getting everybody excited over her. Every time she shows them a picture of a before and after, they're like, "Oh my God, what is this magic?"
Yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
be I'll be coming after
it
you after that brand,
I
your
will
brand
send you
after
some.
I'm done
Don't
with mine.
worry. We'll send you some. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I'm really happy with it. I mean, I'm happy with all of our products. I think they're all really good. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Do you think you're going to stay within the skincare, or are you going to venture out with makeup products as well? And I'm asking because if you have somebody, both of you extremely talented and massive experience in professional realms when it comes to makeup, I think that people would just jump on the chance to really have like certain makeups that like Mac used to do it. They used to have the higher end stuff that makeup
Right.
artists would use, but
Right.
then they changed it, right?
Yep. Well, Leah's a Mac girl. She uses a lot of their products too. But yeah, I mean, we are. We're definitely going to do it. We're going to, but everything that we create is even if it's a color product, it's still going to have ingredients in there that are also helping, your lips. For instance, since I am getting older, I've have this weird like dryness on my lips, and so I've been trying to come, create apparently like glyco acids and like marine kelp and all anything from the sea is supposed to be very good for repairing like not only like eczema in your skin but also for your lips. So I'm working on something like that which will have a color hue to it. And then let's see, what else are we working on? We're working on a body firming cream. And then in terms of color, yes, I mean we want to do uh, cheek color. I have a formulation for that. Probably things for the eyes, maybe some more highlighters. But we don't want to overwhelm ourselves because we're a small team and we're trying to keep it simple and real right now. And
Yeah.
to kind of make our mark with this neck cream and do a soft launch with the other ones. But really the hero product is the neck cream. And it's expensive. So we want to just put all of our energy mostly on that and then worry about the other products. Because if this takes off, that's going to be the thing that everybody will know us for. So,
Yeah. So how do you balance creativity and business strategy when you're innovating products for millions of customers? Especially just I think that it's a huge challenge for a lot of people that are innovators. They launch something and then crickets.
yep, yep. Well, I've been doing this for so long. And again, my son is so tapped into that because he's a millennial. So he's so tapped into all of it and how to push the needle. But when it comes to creativity, honestly, I don't blend creativity and business while I'm working because I can't focus on both at the same time. So when I'm creating, I'm creating. If I'm doing a formula, I'm doing a formula. It's just it's already so much to process because there's so many steps, and you have to be so, and ingredients are so precious and because they're so expensive. So I focus on just that. And then, business will usually come at the end of the day or when I'm finished or talking to Leah about, pricing and then strategies for marketing. For this product, we're going to sell it on Amazon just based on, I haven't really looked, but I'm assuming there are products on there that are in the same price range. But I mean, Amazon is such a good barometer, unfortunately. And it's like I have a love-hate relationship with Amazon because it can be very frustrating. But I also think that if you have a product on Amazon that's selling anywhere from 500 to 10,000 pieces a month, that's proof. And you can't lie about those numbers. Like when people are interested, I've had people interested in acquiring Beth Bender Beauty, but it's like those numbers are real. That's like real time numbers. So there's no denying that. That's a successful business.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just a cross between like Amazon and marketing on Amazon. And the great thing about Amazon, though, I will say, is that everything comes out of whatever you're making. So you don't have to front any money for advertising. You don't have to front any money to ship product. And it's all taken out of whatever you're making, which makes my life easier.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can set the budget at anything you want and just, and promote your brand. And just the more you spend, obviously, the higher and more promoted you're going to be by them. And that's what they want. But I think just word of mouth. We have a lot of women waiting to use this neck cream. And then, of course, advertising on platforms like Instagram and Facebook and getting influencers to talk about it and just kind of building the momentum from there. I think out of the gate, if we can create that kind of a momentum where everybody's going crazy over this neck cream, I think it's going to be a huge plus for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because then it's a trusted brand, and then anything else that we introduce, they're just going to buy because they already love the neck cream.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So,
So you have, with 13 years in business now, that's no small feat. What's been the hardest season and what did you learn from it?
to be honest with you, COVID didn't even affect me the way the whole new regime in the White House has affected me and other small businesses. What I was lucky enough to start working with a new rep in May. And of course, people promise you the world and it doesn't always work out that way. And it wasn't anything against him, but just some things that happen. And then, of course, with the new switch in the White House and everything, prior to that, I had signed with a very big firm in Texas. They had 13 reps. And they were all so excited about the stencils and Sally's and Ulta and Sephora and Walgreens and CVS. And they were just like so excited. And we were so excited because I was thinking how this can't fail because it's like, you know, 13 reps, if they each write an order for $500 and they do it every month, that's great. That's just passive income for us. So I was so excited. And then, of course, this person came into the White House and started talking about tariffs, and they all freaked out. All of the retailers just freaked out. Everything came to a screeching halt. Nobody wanted to place orders. Nobody was interested in a new product, even if it was good. They just everybody was just watching their money. And to
Yeah.
be honest with you, that hasn't really changed for retail. It hasn't changed. People are still freaking out because they don't know when the other shoe is going to fall because this person is just making decisions that I don't think he realizes how much they are hurting small businesses.
Yeah.
So many people
And
have
all
closed and gone out
the
of
tariffs
business.
and everything. Yeah. I've seen
Yeah.
that just really hurt a lot of
Yeah.
businesses.
So I'm lucky enough to be in a space where it's cost effective and it's a great space and the people that work here are amazing and I can come here and be creative. So I'm really grateful for this space and to be able to work with Leah and do what we're doing. But it's like if it weren't for Amazon is never going to fail. Like people are always going to spend money on Amazon. So I have that. But in terms of everything else, it really just like all of my hopes and dreams for that and for finally being in retail, like Sally's was doing a whole new beauty thing and they were changing, they wanted to compete with Ulta and Sephora. I have no idea what happened with that. We sent our stencils to the buyer Caesar like months ago and never heard anything. So for me, Amy, it's just like, okay, well, not sure whether that worked or not, but I have to keep my eye on the ball and just keep moving forward and keep creating and keep doing what I do so that
Yeah.
I can survive. And so that's what I did. I just went into survive. survival mode.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes too, I've heard stories about people getting products into things places like Ulta, and then the reps aren't trained on any of the products. They don't even know
Yep.
that that you're carrying the products, and they could be pushed to the back of the store.
Yep.
And then you're unless you have like some real advertising with some
Yep.
huge display, it's almost like it doesn't matter,
No, it
right?
doesn't. It doesn't. And to be honest with you, I mean, it's like Lee and I both agree. I don't have any desire to be in a retail location. None. I really don't. One, it's such a headache, okay? You have to pay to be in there. And then if they don't sell your product, you have to take all of that back. So what is the benefit of being in Sephora or Ulta? I don't get it. I don't know. If you want my product, you can buy it on Amazon or you can buy it on our site. It's very simple.
Yeah.
I don't need that. For me, it's a headache, and I've tried so many times, and it's like I just don't even want to be bothered anymore. It's too much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have the opportunity. We're going to be, we're working with a company on TikTok called the Hype Boutique, and they are a team of. I'm not sure if some of them are still with QVC, but a lot of them are no longer with QVC. But they left having great, relationships with QVC. So they're the real deal. And we are doing a live selling segment with them on October 14th. And is it the 14th? Yeah, the 14th. And they are so excited about these products and this neck cream. And one of the gals wants to pitch this to QVC. And I
Oh,
think that this neck cream is the perfect product for QVC.
oh yeah.
I really do. So I don't. That's more of where we're headed. I want exposure. We both want exposure for the brand, but I don't need this to be in retail to get the exposure.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, and I just did a launch with a client. Like we're halfway through it right now, but they were struggling
Yeah,
forever to get traction. And so I finally convinced them. I'm like, let's do a launch.
yeah,
And where you do a huge massive giveaway. They get a
right,
gift card when just for subscribing, and
yeah,
then you send them through sales emails, right?
yeah,
And they get more chances to win the more they share.
right.
So we've gotten 4,000 shares and
Wow,
thousands of people in their email list just
that's
like
great. That's great. Yeah,
that.
you have to do that.
And we didn't spend any extra money that they aren't already spending on advertising. So now they have a full on new segment and people that
Right.
want their product that
Yeah,
are excited for this big launch because we're going to do all promos for the launch, and
yeah.
we have influencers that are all going to be landing the
At the
videos and
same
talking
time,
to
right, right, right. Yeah,
so it's kind of that same thing, but it's set creating that buzz. And I
yeah,
feel like there's a lot of people that kind of miss out on their launch of
yeah.
the things that you can actually offer. But
Oh yeah, yeah,
I think that kind of thing is what gets the traction, because you don't
yeah.
need a massive amount of people, you just need
No,
enough,
yeah.
and the
I mean,
word
and all it
starts.
takes is one person. If there's one big influencer that happens to see it or reposts it or mentions it, that's all it takes. They still have influence on people seeing your product.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. And we'll do the same thing. I did the same thing for our Progo stencils. I didn't do it so much for our Progo graphics, but I'm really kind of all in on Sainte Labs right now. The stencils kind of took on a life of their own. I mean, they sell no matter what on Amazon, and they do well. I'm really focused on Sainte Labs right now because I'm a woman who's has mature skin, and being in the industry, I mean, people are always asking me what I use on my skin, and it's very important to me to have my skin looking good. And so with these products that we're developing, I'm not just selling them, I'm using them every day, which a lot of people don't do, but I love our products. I believe in our products. So I think a lot of this will be organic from just word of mouth because we've been talking to so many people about the launch and the products. And then I think a lot of it will be like what you said, just posting, connecting, doing little ads here and there, showing visuals, and something is it's just gonna happen. And
Yeah.
then as a result of that, again, everybody goes to Amazon because they want it now, and they have that thing where if you spend $25 on certain products, you can get it the same day. I mean, I even get excited over that. So, because they know how to get people to just pull the trigger. So I think that'll be a good thing as well, because then I don't have to worry about it and just
Yeah.
send it through Amazon. But either way, we're just really excited. We can't wait to launch this. So it's great.
Yeah, well, and let's talk a little bit about your success in the past. You've been featured everywhere from Marie Claire to the Washington Post. What was the moment that you had that you stopped and you thought, wow, I really did this? Like I hit success. Did you ever hit that?
Yes, I did. I'm trying to think. I guess the first time, and we had already been selling the stencils, but actually, no, it was in the beginning. And it was the first time Bobby Thomas, when she was still on the Today Show, featured our stencils. And when she put the stencil over her eye and peeled it off, and you could see that point, and it was all about eyeliner, this segment. So there was another one where it was like the stickers. And I remember, what's her name? Kelly and Kathy Lee put that on, and then she made like a face when she was peeling it off, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so sorry for these people, because it was just like, oh, soul crushing. But when she did my stencil and peeled it off, everybody freaked out. But then the real aha moment, the real like, okay, this is cool, was when she featured us again, like years later for an anniversary show. And she said these stencils literally broke our internet, like from all of the sales coming in and everything. And I didn't even know she was including us. This kind of just happened. And somebody was like, you were on the Today Show today. So, and then the second time when I realized, wow, was when we launched our eye candy eyeliner stencils in July. And like 3 months later, because I would track all the sales. This is before we had Shopify and we were a Magento site.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this sale come in. I'm like, And it was from L'Oreal. So they tried to buy the stencil, and then they tried to buy it again, and then they tried to buy it again, shipping it to somebody's home address. And I just kind of said, oh, thanks so much. We're so flattered that you want to check out our stencils. Was this, we'd love to have, because we knew why they were buying them. They wanted to steal them.
Yeah.
And and they were like, oh, it's for research. I'm like, yeah, sure it is. And then, of course, 6 months later, they came out with that stupid tool. And I'm sorry, I don't care, but it was stupid, with a little tiny triangle, a little tiny, you could put it on a dog. And then they were showing in the pictures like this beautiful dramatic wing. And I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, consumers are much smarter than you give them credit for. So, and of course, the reviews were awful. And, it was just so funny. And then Beauty Blender with her little guitar pick, that was also like, okay. But they were all getting in. The Kiss Nails tried to buy my stencils, and then they come out with their little ring of little shapes, which didn't do well. And it's just funny to see everybody just kind of piggybacking. And then the wing, the stamp, which to this day my son still, gets so upset with me, because he was actually in the process of developing the stamp. And then I kind of poo-pooed it. And well, needless to say, everybody there, it's not great. I still don't think the stamp is really the way to go. It's because it's not a perfect point. You still have to fix it.
Yeah.
Whereas with stencils, you peel them off and it's a perfect point. But, there's still, I've learned a lot just from customers and everything. The stencils there's still a lot of people that don't like them or can't use them or don't understand them. And then there's a percentage of people who get it and who love it. So I definitely have an audience and I have a customer for those, but it's tricky. So I have another design of stencils that I'm coming out with. Probably not until, the May or something, but they're amazing. They're amazing. And these are definitely fail proof. And so I think those are going to be something for everyone. I think that's when everything will come together, and then it'll really be a brand that people can look at and say, okay, yeah, we get it. So
That's amazing. And in your experience of working with in the celebrity realm and global brands, when you think of beauty, what does it really mean beyond the surface?
for me, and it's such a cliche, but beauty really is skin deep. But it starts with the soul, like your spirit. Like, who are you? Who is your soul? What is your soul? Are you emanating love? Are you emanating just, gratitude? What's emanating from here? Because if you're not a good person, if your heart is dark, then it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, because then all I see is just ugliness. I don't see beauty. And, I just think that that's really where it stems from. To be a good person, to have empathy, to care about people in a way where you really care about them and you're not just trying to sell them a product, but you care about them. That's really the route I've always taken with people. So, it's like, I've been surprised too by people who, they're celebrities and you think, oh, they're going to be such jajas. And then they turn out to be like the nicest people in the world. Look
Yeah.
at Taylor Swift. I was not always a fan of hers, but I have to say I'm coming around. The girl is one of the most generous, authentic people, who has so much money and so much success. Everything she does, obviously it's thought out, but she's doing it.
Yeah.
She's showing up on Christmas Eve to kids dying with cancer. I don't see anybody else doing that, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the difference between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift is so far apart. It's crazy. But that's really where it starts for me anyway. It's like your heart, like who are you? When everything else is removed, like your spirit, who are you? That's where the beauty starts. It
Yeah.
doesn't start on the surface, it starts here. And if you don't have that, then like my husband always says, everybody gets the face they deserve, right? And he's not wrong. He's not wrong because that has a lot to do with it. If you're sour, then you're sour. If you're angry, if you're bitter, then you're angry and bitter. Now that I've told you that, pay attention because it's true. Anyhow, I try to do the best I can. There's a lot of things I want that I don't have. There's a lot of things I need that I don't have. But I just try to be in this moment and just to be as real as I can possibly be and to always have gratitude because I don't take anything for granted. And believe me, this has not been an easy life financially for me, but it still hasn't stopped me because I know that one day somebody, like a real person, a person who really sees me for who I am, will get it. And then that's when everything will kind of click. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because I love what I do.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
So, what piece of advice would you give for entrepreneurs out there who want to innovate in an already crowded industry, regardless of what industry that is?
You know what? I would say go for it. I would never tell somebody not to follow their dreams. I would never do that because there's nothing worse than being squashed by somebody who's bitter or who didn't have success. It's like being in the industry and being a makeup artist. It's like Leah was the only makeup artist that hired me when I came out here. I was already working. I had success in New York. I worked with a lot of people. I had done a lot. People out here are so weird about you getting more work than them or them liking me more than them. And so she was the only one that hired me, the only one. And I don't forget stuff like that. So it's just, I would never, like I said, I would never squash anybody's dreams. It's a hard road. It's not always an easy road, but there's always room. If you have a product that is proven that people are liking, the reviews are good, and the results are real, they're real results. Companies like Ulta and Sephora, Target, they want it because the bottom line for them is it good for them? Are they going to make money? And if they see that that's happening and they can see on Amazon and all of those other platforms, it doesn't matter whether you're new. If you have an idea and it's something that works, I say go for it. Honestly, I do. I would never tell somebody not to do it. It's not going to be easy, especially if you're financing this on your own.
Yeah.
But I'd say follow your passion, follow it, do it.
So, what do you think has been your truth that has gotten you this far in your journey?
Trust and just trying to trust, but it's not always easy. And I have to constantly remind myself of that and, just letting go and trusting in the moment and trusting that, and again, it sounds like a cliche, but it's really not because just trusting that the universe, and I believe that wholeheartedly, that they know where I'm supposed to be and that when it's supposed to happen, it will. It's not, sometimes it does happen, success happens for people, when they least expect it. And, sometimes it doesn't happen at all. But regardless, it's like you just have to keep your eye on the ball and believe. And I do believe, like I said, it has not been an easy road, but I've had a lot of success. I've had a lot of heartbreak, a lot of failures, but I just never give up because what would be the point in that? So, I mean, there's so many things I want to do, and I can't do them if I give up. So, right? So I
Yeah.
just keep moving forward, and I try to be humble. I try to be grateful. I try to appreciate everything, even if I have a bad day. I try to just put it behind me and just know that tomorrow's another day. Not everything is always good, but you do the best you can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
That still resonates with me. Yeah.
and my husband always says wherever you go, there you are. So it doesn't matter. I could move into another space. I can move into a different state. I could try another career. I'm still me,
Hmm.
right? Nothing changes. So unless I trust and believe, it just doesn't. It does none of that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true.
So yeah.
Yeah. Everything's figure outable.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm just going to keep doing like what June Carter. And they asked her about her successes and how does she get through a day and all of her, success with Johnny Cash. And her response was, I'm just trying to matter. I'm just trying to matter. And I mean, I get that. I get that. I mean, that resonated with me. But again, I'm super grateful. I love this girl so much. She's amazing. We have a great synergy. We work well together. We're both passionate. We're both artistic. And it's just like, I think that this was meant to be. I think at the end of the day, Sainte Labs, even though I have Beth Bender Beauty, I really feel like this is where everything is just, well, where it's up.
Yeah,
So
I love your passion, especially after all the success that
thank
you've
you.
had,
Thank
that you
you.
just keep on going. You're like the next best thing, right?
You're so sweet. Yeah, I mean, there's no, I don't, there's no other choice,
Yeah,
and I love to work. That's the thing. Even if I, sold my business or was acquired, I'd still want to work. I love creating.
yeah,
I love creating. There, I just love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my favorite things to do. Somebody says, I can make that for you, or I have this problem. I can make that for you. And I just
yeah,
love it. I love knowing that I can actually do it too. That is so empowering. That on its own. So yeah, it's great. I love helping people.
mhm,
that's really where this all started because I love helping people. I
yeah.
still love helping people. So anyhow, that's where we're at right now.
So, last question: if you were able to give yourself one piece of advice when you first started out on your journey, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. I guess really just trusting your gut, trusting your instinct, which I am famous for not always doing. And unfortunately, that did get me into some trouble when I launched Beth Bender Beauty back in the day. And it wasn't a fun time for me. I mean, I think also like, when you meet people trying to sell you snake oil and you meet people who are promising you the world, you really need to step back and take a look at the big picture. And if somebody that you've known for 50, 40, 50, whatever years, your family says something, you need to pay attention to that because sometimes when you're in the thick of it and your head is swelling from the success and everything, you don't really see what's happening around you. You're not really seeing that wolf in sheep's clothing. And so I would say just really step back, listen to what everybody's saying, trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, then you don't do it. Even if it means, losing money or not having what you need, it doesn't matter because it always will turn out to be what it was meant to be. So that's really the biggest thing for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, if there are people that are listening that would love to check out your new products and or even get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Well, for Beth Bender Beauty, they can go to Beth Bender Beauty. They can also email me at beth@bethbenderbeauty.com if they have any questions about products. And for Sainte Labs, right now we have just the info at Sainte Labs. And that site is launching for sure 100% next Thursday, October 9th. Will launch. We've been, like I said, we're such a small team. We've been neglecting social media, so we really have to start doing that. But I think from the following that we have on Beth Bender Beauty, I will kind of, ask them to give us some love. And then again, once we launch it and we're doing social media and we're doing giveaways and on Amazon, I think it'll be very easy to find us.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
Thank you
Anyhow,
so
we're
much.
we're easy to find.
Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your expertise and your
Oh my
journey.
God, it was my pleasure. It was really a pleasure. I love doing this, and you're amazing, Amy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. And if
Thank
you're
you.
listening, you want more information about this podcast or upcoming shows, you can visit acalltothrive.com. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week.